There's a sixth sense beyond that which is known to man. The sense is sought after as the Holy Grail, and as precious as immortality. It's the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and entertainment, and it lies at the pit of a man's fears and the summit of his genius. This sense, of course, is a sense of humor, and this is Sense of Humor TV.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Sense of Humor TV. Woo. Got another special episode for you today. Just go through the intros as always. Got Alec on the ones and twos. Got Noah co-hosting, Noah Bergman. And we have the host of Auguste and Jokers, my good friend, Amanda Fritz.
Woo! Welcome.
Thanks for having me. Hello.
And if you don't know, I'm Auguste DeRose-Jones at this point.
Yeah.
Turn off the no, I'm joking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
Yeah. If you don't know, Amanda, comedian, like I said, host of my show at the Ice House.
Very funny.
Yeah, very funny. Very cool.
Thank you.
I always like to start, and I hope this doesn't get too much into it, but I always like to start, and this is finally different for you guys, with how I met the guest.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And Amanda's is different.
Let's do it.
Amanda's is different. I'll tell from my side.
Okay. Oh,
first.
Yes.
I'll tell from my side first. You would think we know each other through stand-up, through comedy. And I probably had seen you before, maybe, but it was like, I just remember you coming up to me at the Comedy Store on the patio.
Yeah.
And you just go, and it was like late night too. And you were like, do you know Jordan? And I was like,
yes.
In my head, I'm like thinking of comedian Jordans, you know? And I just go, but for some reason I went and I just go, Ranky?
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, like my buddy from PA, but he lives out here.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, how do you know? Yeah, I was like, how do you know
Wow.
him? And she's like, we live in the same apartment complex.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah, dude.
But you're telling that in such a nice way because I like attacked him on the patio because I recognized him and was like, "Are you Auguste?" And he was like, "Oh my god."
It was very aggressive, yes.
It was. Well, I've lived in the same apartment complex as Jordan for like 2 years, and he's always been like, "Oh, you do stand up." My friend Augie, he does stand up, and I was like, Augie doesn't exist. And then one day he like showed me, I think it was like your Instagram or something. So I like locked it in, and I just recognized you and was like, "Oh my god, he's real."
Yeah. Well, so yeah, you're right. It was very like, but now it makes more sense that you were like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
like this. I actually am seeing this person. Yeah.
It was like years of him just being like, "You've got to know this guy. You've got to know this guy." And I was like, I've literally never seen this man before in my life.
Yeah, and it was like, again too, it was like late night, so I'm kind of like, leaving, like
Yeah.
at the end of the night, and you were just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
are you August? And I was like,
I
yeah.
like jumped off my stool. I was like, "You're real."
Yeah.
So
And then I started
funny.
thinking, I'm like, oh god, because we love you, Jordan, but he's a handful. So we were like, yeah. So I was
My
just like, what did he tell you?
favorite
What did he tell you about me? And it's funny. It's funny now that you've been like hosting my show now for like almost a year,
Yeah.
which is like crazy.
You've been killing it, too.
Yeah.
Every time.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Every time.
Well, it's just
I love it. I have
Like-
so much fun hosting your show.
like obviously Heidi, who's been on the show, is like was real hard to replace. You know what I mean?
She's great.
I love her to death. She's like one of my best friends outside of comedy. You know
Oh
what I
my
mean? So I was like,
God.
all right, who can I get that's gonna like? Because again, like half of it's like when you produce shows, it's like
Yeah.
I want to just be able to worry about producing the show. Like I want someone who can host and like
Yeah.
I don't have to like think about it.
Producing and hosting is insane. I don't know how people produce and host the same show. And like Heidi is such a great host. I watched her host at Flappers with Peter Murphy for years. So like the bar for that was so high. Like just seeing her like do her thing.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
She's just funny, which is also the biggest thing. But then
Yeah.
also just like has done it and then doesn't like I'm worried about like figuring out the logistics. You're good at being like I don't have to, and that's why
Oh yeah, because you always do sound. You're always there.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
again, when you guys are both when he's in the booth and then you're on the thing, and then I'm like, all right, now I can
Hell
really.
yeah.
You got nothing to worry about.
100%,
Fuck yeah.
yeah.
Dream team, baby.
Yeah.
Hell
I'm like, I'm not gonna get lit.
Teamwork
I don't have
makes
to worry
that
about
ass
it.
twerk.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, no, but and so that was a big thing when I like, because again, like we met that night, and then and then I remember like me. Again, I give you credit every time too, because I remember me being at your apartment complex in the pool,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and you were like going to the improv
And
mic.
you were just like floating
Oh, I was-
in the middle of the pool.
Yeah, and and you were going to the improv mic, and you were
Yeah.
like, you should come.
Yeah.
And I was like,
put a shirt on.
Yeah, literally.
Get your ass up.
And I was like, I am a couple beers deep. Like, should I go?
Yeah. I was like, we got work to do, baby.
And I ended up going, and that's
While
when
you're
like
floating
that's
in
when
a
Rita picked me for like best set or whatever. And then
that's
ended up,
right. That's
yeah,
the one.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I ended up doing the Trump joke for the first time. That's my closer.
Yeah.
Which is like crazy to think about.
Oh,
But
yeah.
no, again, that's a beautiful like. But again, it's like I don't know. It's so funny because I was talking to Josh about that because he loves that joke I do. He was like telling everyone at the improv party, like he's like, I love the joke, and I was like, the first time I did it was when Amanda was like, you should just come.
I was like, get up, put a shirt on, get to the mic.
I'm all like burnt and shit, and
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
literally, dude, it was so funny. But that was another thing too, where I was like, oh, you guys actually do live together. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Because that was even before you ever hosted my show or anything.
Oh no, our apartments. So this is a funny story. I think it was like maybe the summer before I started, like I met you. Our apartments face each other. So like our front doors face each other. I was at the pool and I left my door unlocked. I think I was like doing laundry or something. I open my apartment and there's like 6 people that have just fully made themselves at home in my apartment over the course of like 5 minutes.
What?
Like me switching my laundry. Shoes are off. They like had come back from like Hamburger Mary's and they're eating and drinking and I just open it and I'm like, hello? And they were like, is this not Jordan's apartment?
Oh my God.
And I was like,
I forgot you told me that story.
Oh my fucking God.
This is my buddy. Yeah,
yes,
like,
this
What?
is fully. He gave them the wrong apartment number.
Oh my.
So they just
fucking
came in
God.
Goldilocks style.
Oh my God.
And I was like, no, he's across the way. How quickly these people got their shit and left.
Yeah.
And then I saw them at the pool later and he was like, hey man, I'm really sorry. And I was like, it's cool, bro.
That's
like,
him in a nutshell, though.
That's
like,
just so him.
Oh my
Yeah.
fucking.
He texted me
God.
and was like, do you want to like come over? We're just like hanging out and drinking.
I mean, yeah. Again, and it's
Do
so
you want to come over? Everyone's already over
Yeah,
here.
everyone's
What
already
the
at my
fuck?
place.
Yeah.
I should have just been like, yeah, he'll be here. And I'm like, Jordan, come over.
Do you want to come over? No one's here. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, because they're at my house.
They're at my place, bitch. Memorize your own apartment number.
But no, that is a perfect like. But then when we started hanging out, I'm like, again, just great hang, fucking funny as hell. Like I
We have so
love
much
hanging out with
fun.
you. Yeah, it's been nice to get to know you over these things. Because even too, like even when you probably first did my shows, like that's when we started becoming like pretty tight. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But
yeah,
now
yeah.
it's like we hang out all the time and
Oh, yeah.
outside of whatever and.
We have fun, dude. We have such a good time.
Yeah, no, I'm pumped to have you on the show. And again, it was like one of those like, again, we were so new to at that point. I was like, I'm gonna have someone different like host every time now that I don't have Heidi. And it was like
Yeah.
one time of her host. And I'm like, all right, Amanda's gonna host every time. It turned into that real quick.
And I super appreciate you putting me on
Of
because
course.
that's led to more stuff with me at the Ice House too.
Yeah.
So like, dude, thank you so much.
Well, those are the people I want to like. And we say it all the time on here, so I appreciate that because like it is one of those. Like I remember like there's been multiple guests now when they're like, when I first knew you, you know, because it seems like it's fake because not a lot of people are that way. You know what I mean? Where I'm
Oh,
like, dude,
yeah.
I'll hook you up, I'll help you out. You know what I mean? Because it's like I'm of the thing where it's like we were talking about. It's like if Noah goes and performs in Kansas City, he's taking me. Vice versa. It's like I want to like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, 100%.
Like, but these other
100%.
a lot of people aren't because you have to be some part of a narcissist to do what we do.
100%.
But there's bad obviously levels of narcissism where they're like they think
Yeah.
that your success takes away from their success.
Yeah.
But in my eyes, I'm like, dude, like like I was with Sean the other day, right? Sean Porter, shout out. Been on the show multiple times.
We love Porter.
Yeah. But you know, he got his picture up at the Ice House, and but he was like telling me, he's like, dude, you know how sick that night was for me? He goes, you're hosting in the one room, Christy's hosting in the other room,
Yeah.
and then I'm having this thing. And it's like that's our whole gang.
The
like,
gang.
Yeah, we started with went
Yeah.
to New York together. We started. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, it is cool. Like it is nice to like see our people like starting to like.
It was a milestone moment. That was a milestone night for sure.
100%.
It's
Yeah,
nice
in
when
a lot of
everyone
ways,
comes
yeah.
up together.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
your friends
Oh,
are all
yeah.
doing
And those are
it
like people I
together.
like genuinely
100%.
like love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys
100%.
like are my actual like, because I it's not like LA was the first city I did stand up. I had
true.
never found really friends doing stand up scene in Pittsburgh or
True.
the Bay Area before.
Well, even to like make friends and stand up, it's like, oh, you could be super funny.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll recommend you for a show. But
Yeah.
to actually like enjoy like hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like off stage and outside of the green room.
That's the best part of it for me. Like
Yeah.
it's just a good hang.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing when you notice when you start hanging
So
out
important.
with people
Yeah.
outside of like comedy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even me and like Bartnick, it's like, dude, I've been to his house a million times. We watched like Penguin games and just like fucking, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
when you know you're like, all right, this is like someone who I'm like
Yeah.
gonna be cool with regardless of this business, and then that turns into which is again where I was like, that's when I knew with you. I was like, all right, I just want to have her host it every time because you know what I mean.
Oh,
I actually
thank
just
you.
know what I mean. I like hanging out with you and.
Yeah, to transcend, because like I feel like stand-up is so social and so personal. It's easy to be like, oh, these are my friends, but like I don't know, for a while you're just like coworkers.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
when you do transcend that, like, oh, we're like friends.
Yeah.
Like we go out and like hang out like outside of shows.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to like find that and build that. So when you do, it's like.
Well, there is that. Well, you learn too. At least for me, like I was talking about this. I don't even know if it was on the podcast, but I was talking about it with like Kill and like Sean Tucker, where it's like when you start out, you like want everyone to like you in the scene. You know what I mean? You're like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
You get over that pretty quick.
Yeah, right. Where you're like, oh wait, you're just
fuck you. I
yeah,
don't care what you
You
do.
quickly get a list of like 20 people. I don't give a fuck what this person
Yeah,
thinks.
truly.
Fuck them.
Well, there's
Truly.
it just
Who are you again?
Yeah, it just sometimes happens where it's like all right, like
Oh, that's your name?
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
there's nothing that you've even done. It's just like for some reason they don't like you.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like we were talking about like shout out Dean. Dean Gonzalez was on this episode, and again I started with like, hey, you know, like how do we meet? And he's like, bro, I remember I was like, I don't. He was like, if I ever had it on here, I don't really remember the first time I met you. He's like, I remember the first time I met you. I didn't like you at all. That's what he
so
said.
good.
I know, right? And
That's
I was
my
like,
favorite.
why? And he's like, because honestly, I thought you were like fake. And then he's like, I realized that like you weren't. And he tells a story about he was in the back of the store where like everyone smokes, you know.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
was like, it was my birthday the next day, and he's like, no one was like he's like, I felt like a loser because I had nothing to do the next day and blah blah blah. And he's like, you came back there, you started smoking. He asked me like what was going on. I said it was my birthday. I was like, dude, I have a show at the Ice House tomorrow. You want to be on it? He's like 24-hour notice. I was like, you want to be on it? And he's like, I thought that was so cool of you and like blah blah blah. And I was like,
Damn.
yeah, but he's like, fuck, I'm a hater, man. Like this guy's
That's
cool
so
as fuck. Yeah,
funny.
he's like, but that just goes to show you.
I'm a hater, man.
I had
Yeah,
somebody,
like
I had somebody get mad at me because I didn't like remember them. Like
Oh.
I was like, oh, I recognize you, but like I don't know where I know you
Yeah,
from. And they
yeah.
were like, "Ugh, this one show 2 years ago, and I'm like, oh my god.
Dude, I had that happen to me. The worst time that ever happened to me was because also like my name's August, so it's easier to remember than like Tyler or
Oh,
something.
John was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, and that happened to me one time in college where like, but I knew it. It got past the point I had met this dude so many times where I can't ask you your name at this point.
Oh, yeah.
So it got to that whole like
Oh, I
back and
hate
forth,
that.
and then finally I go, dude, this is the best. He goes, I go, what's up, man? He goes, he comes up, what's up, August? What's up, man? He just goes, from happy to just immediately, you don't remember my name, do you? Just called me out like that, and I just go. No, dude, I'm sorry.
I love that you owned up to
I
it.
owned
and
up
you're
to
You
it.
can't be like, yeah,
yeah.
I remember your name,
Yeah.
and just not say
But the
it.
best part is like, I go, no.
I have nothing to prove to you.
I go, no,
Dude, I
dude.
know your name, like the back of my hand,
Like,
for sure.
just walks away.
I go, nah, man. And he just goes, come on, man, Jake. And I go, and so I still remember it. That's how, hey, if you're watching Jake.
Jake.
I
Shout out
still
Jake.
fucking
He
remember
He talks
it.
about you all the time,
Yeah.
Jake.
I still remember it because he made me feel so bad. I was like, damn.
Dude, I had a bad night at the Ice House the other night. It was a couple weeks ago. I was just going through fucking life shit. Did not want to like be working. I was just like, God damn it. And I'm like, all right, I gotta buckle up. I gotta go get the lineup, talk to these show producers, like get things going. And I go, oh hey, I'm Noah. Nice to meet you. Like, how you doing? Welcome to the Ice House. And then she goes, yeah, we worked together 3 months ago. And then I was like, I was already pissed off. And my first instinct was to be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But then I just was more pissed, and I doubled down, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. What's my name? And then she was like, and I was like, yeah, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Give me the fucking lineup.
Yeah,
What the
yeah.
fuck?
I
Yeah.
just said it, bitch. You're like,
Yeah.
dude, there was this girl. She was like my ex's friend's girlfriend, whatever. I remembered her name because her name was Bryce. And I was like, okay, girl with boy's name. 6 months I'm partying with this bitch. She introduces herself to me every time. And I'd be like, yo, Bryce, what's up? And she'd be like, it's me, Bryce. And I'm like, you were at my house.
Yeah.
I know who you are.
No.
She just
Oh,
kept introducing
no.
herself to me. And she'd be like, hi, it's Bryce. And I'm like, do you have like 51st date syndrome?
The
Like,
worst is though is like now you get to the point where like I know you know me, And I hate when I'm like, all right, if I have to introduce myself to you ever, or not introduce, but say hello to you every time I see you.
Yeah.
Like, and they're just like, it's like, all right, I'm just gonna stop saying.
Oh,
hi.
I stopped doing that. I stopped saying hi to people.
Yeah, it's like I'm not too proud to say hi, but if
You
like
can't be the first
if I
one
do it
every
time.
I
Yeah,
would
it's
come
like,
in with a hug to be like, hey, clearly I remember you. And she'd go, it's me, Bryce. And I'm like, bro, okay, I cannot.
Yeah, it's like
Every morning she
Jesus
watches a
Christ.
videotape of her life.
Jesus Christ.
no,
my
because again, there gets to a point where it's just like, all right, you just don't want to say hi to me for whatever reason. Fine.
Yeah.
We're
Fine.
good.
Yeah.
But it's funny getting to that point where it's just like, all right, I don't have to be
I've had
friends with
people be like,
everybody.
"Oh, Noah doesn't want to say hi to me anymore." And I'm like, "When did you ever say hi to
yeah,
me?
yeah.
Ever?
Are we gonna play this game,
What
bitch?
the fuck?"
No, dude, that's a weird.
That's
I can name
so
multiple
funny.
people where it's like, and then it's like, did I do something? But then there's sometimes too where it's like, not to be whatever. But like now that I have a show, they'll be like, oh, you never put me on. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, like,
Dude.
and it's like, yeah, don't do that. And it's also like, you might have a show, you never put me on. I don't get shitty. Like,
I have so many friends that produce shows that are like, I'm so sorry I haven't put you on. And it's like,
I'm like, don't be.
don't be. It's
Yeah.
like, I understand how
just
stressful it is.
or just don't say sorry to me.
Don't say sorry. It's okay. I didn't think about it until you said that.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, now that you mentioned it.
Oh, dude, it's crazy.
Dude,
But-
you will just catch
But
people.
anyway, the whole moral of the story is just I like hanging out with you, and I
We're
love that you're part of the show
chill.
now
Yeah.
and everything like that.
Yeah.
But there is some stuff I always want. This is what have the fun of being on the show is like,
No.
Did you start stand up in LA? Did you? Yeah. You're like,
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I refuse to divulge any personal
Yeah,
information.
we're gonna
I
know
haven't started
everything.
stand up yet.
Yeah.
It's just
What's your social security number?
Yeah. All I did was smoke a fucking pack of Marlboro Reds before I got here, and I
Yeah.
was like, I'm not telling you shit.
Yeah. By the way, if you haven't noticed, she's losing her voice. She
Yeah, I
doesn't-
don't always sound like this.
Yeah, she's very polite and quiet.
But we all got sick at the same show.
Yeah,
Nick Swartzen's fault.
Fuck you, Nick Swartzen.
we love you, Nick. Don't put that out there.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Hope you're feeling better, Nick.
But I could feel myself losing my voice mid-set last night.
Oh, dude, I had to do.
It was so I could feel
Bro,
it.
I had to
low.
do crack 'em up with no voice.
No.
All black show. I'm the only white guy, and it's loud.
And you're whispering,
And I'm whispering.
and they're like, he's
The
scared.
first show, I think the first show, because I had to address the room, because I was talking like you. I'm literally have this voice.
Hey guys.
Yeah. Literally, I'm not even joking, dude. And
Oh
I literally, the first thing I said up there, I go, hey guys, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm losing my voice, but I had it when I got here. I've just been in the green room with all these black people all night, and it's hard to get a word in, and it fucking murdered.
Oh my
But I
God.
shot. I was like, I got to get them their attention, like
Oh my
immediately.
God.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's the first thing I said.
I did
I swear to God, dude.
I did like a long ass set last night, and I started off totally normal, and then like as the set is going on, I can just feel it. To like by the time I get the light, I'm like, okay guys, I'm gonna leave you with this, and everyone's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what just happened?
Yeah. I was like, I'm running out of battery. I'm so sorry.
But did you start a stand up in LA, or did you?
I did.
Really?
Yeah, which is so weird because like I'm from the Bay Area in Sacramento, which have like pretty good comedy scenes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, no, I started down here. I like did Groundlings, and then was like, fuck this, too many people on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've always wanted to do it, and then started in LA, which is like the worst place to start.
Yeah, I know, it's very interesting. That's why I usually it's interesting.
The
yeah.
worst city to start.
is
Everyone
very-
moves to LA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after they started.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. I say all the time, I'm like, I'm happy I didn't start here because
Dude.
it's fucking like
I started here too.
Yeah, see, yeah, so Noah did too, yeah.
Yoo-hoo Room, Flappers.
Yeah.
Sean
Yoo-hoo.
Porter's open mic.
Survivors.
Yeah,
You
so let's go.
Survivors.
I can smell that place right now.
Oh
You know what's funny too? Is the first place
if
I
you
did.
say it 3 times, Barb will show up.
Yeah. Like a raccoon.
Oh fuck!
Oh my God.
Fucking
Josh Snyder will knock my drink out of my hand.
Oh my God.
the
He's like pulling his pants up because they're 6 sizes too big. Just
The-
kidding. Love you.
the U Room was the first place I did stand up in LA, but not the first place I did stand up. Like I did it
Oh, wow.
other places around. like,
Everyone starts in the UO.
Yeah, it is funny. Like it's funny. I remember it vividly, but it is. Yeah, I'm like having PTSD.
Nightmares.
Yeah.
We all
Well, because
have-
I remember I accidentally went to like the audition one, and I remember him being after. I thought it was just a mic, and then he's like, "Oh, like I'll go to the back and I'll give you like feedback," and I was like, "Oh, fucking mic! Like what the fuck? Like what the hell's going on?" And then I've probably told this story before, so sorry for the listeners. But then I found out the show after was Sean Porter's mic, so I was like, "Oh, I'll stay," and it was back when he did it at the bar.
Yes.
Like way back.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that any of that. And then there was like like so many crazy people that showed up that one. And this one lady, I remember she showed up. I've told this before, but I just want to tell you because it's funny. She didn't, she was literally insane and got no laughs the entire time. And then the only laugh she got, she goes, yeah, so, I just wanted to tell you guys that I just came up here tonight to let you know I'm bringing comedy back. And that got a huge laugh because she was being serious. Like, oh, it was so good.
Absolutely.
And but yeah, we used to get some characters at that mic. And but then I remember I was like, dude, I'm never going to this mic again. Yeah. And then I got put on a show from that audition. Yeah. And I got put on one of those Yoo-Hoo Room 1,500 people shows. Of
course.
And Ray Lau was hosting it, and he was like in the green room. He's like, hey, were you at that mic last week? And I was like, yeah. He's like, dude, that was fucking weird. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, you should go again. It's not usually like that. Yeah. And I was like, all right. And then I went the next week, and like Paul Rodriguez dropped in, and it was fun as hell. It was completely the opposite vibe.
Ray Lau and I hosted the Yoo-Hoo Room every Friday. I would say for like a good 6-7 months, every fucking Friday, Ray Lau and I in the Yoo-Hoo Room, and it would we would switch off on like who would do the early show, who would do the late show, who was running sound and all that shit. Back when like we were just getting paid in like drinks and food. And then I freaking hosted the Yoo-Hoo with him for months. Meanwhile, I'm on call hosting the main room, and then like whatever, I wasn't getting booked there anymore, and I randomly.
Got too funny.
Yeah, they were like, you want to get paid? Get out of here. And I remember like I wasn't getting booked there, and I randomly texted Josh one day because I was like, damn, it's like a good club. It's close to me. I should like, bury the hatchet, whatever. And I texted him and was like, hey, like, would it be cool if, like, I send you my avails or whatever? This man texts me back and goes, the auditions are on Wednesday at 5. And I was like, I tried, and like, I just gave up.
No, it's ridiculous. Like, I remember because people tell me early on, they're like, hey, don't get too funny around here. Won't get booked anymore. I'm like, and that's exactly what happened. And like someone texted me, this is a true story. Someone texted me the other week, and they go, I'm watching one of your sets on YouTube. And I go, I don't have a set on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And then I go, I don't have a set on YouTube, bro.
They post your sets on YouTube and like don't even tell you.
Dude, and the set, Amanda, this is actually the last time I had performed there, other than when I did Dion's show like a year ago. But this is the last time I've actually like got booked by the club there. It was the diversity showcase.
The diversity showcase.
But I'm the only white person on the entire thing. All black.
You're Greek Italian.
But that's the But like literally like BT Kingsley dropped in before me, and he's looking at me when I was going on stage. I was like, but that's why. But of all the sets, they posted that one on the thing. I'll show you guys after the thing. It's hilarious because the first 5 minutes, I'm just making fun of I'm like, I don't know why they booked me. I'm like, I don't know why they booked me. I'm like, I could have gave this to a minority, but I didn't get it. I was like, I could have gave it up.
They posted one of my Yoo-Hoo sets, and I think I spent like the first 5 minutes truly just like shitting on the comics before me.
Because no one watched this before they posted it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure maybe it's like somewhere like in the agreement or whatever that none of us read. But like, I truly spent like the first half of my set just like shitting on all the comics. Cause like, I don't know, the room was bad and I was trying to like get everyone together.
Yeah, just not something you're like performing to be posted.
Right. Not something that I'm like, something that I would post.
No.
There's things that you do in the room.
Yeah.
Because you need to like adjust the energy of the room and go,
100%.
Hey, that was weird, right?
Yeah.
Hey, we saw that, right?
Yeah. The Gram doesn't need to see that.
The Gram
No.
It was on
YouTube.
YouTube. It was on YouTube.
A full set on YouTube.
It was on YouTube and
and it's like terrible sound, shitty lighting. It's like, what the fuck is it?
My aunt texted me, and I think I said something like bashing like older women or something like that, because the comic before me got up and was whatever, and I said something like, oh, give it up for grandma or whatever, because we had beef, this lady and I'll find you.
Yeah, be careful, most of our listeners are older women, so.
Yeah. But she came for me, and then I came right back, again, not stuff you would post, and my aunt texts me and is like, I just saw your YouTube clip. I think you should be really ashamed of yourself. And I was like, I am, but like, why?
Yeah.
Specifically.
I'm ashamed, but why are you bringing it up?
I carry shame.
It's not even the part of the set I was ashamed about.
Yeah. I was like, I just have Catholic shame, but like specifically, what should I be? They took it down though, but like, that was so weird.
It's so weird. It's like, someone texted me, this was like 2 weeks ago.
That's wild.
I'm not joking. This was like 2 weeks ago.
Are you serious?
And this is like a 3-year-old like clip of me on the diversity.
3 years?
3 years. And it's like me on the diversity showcase being like, dude, it's the most insane thing.
Do you want to know something crazy? And like every time I think about going back to that club, something happens. I was at the Milwaukee Improv. I had just quit because I was a manager there.
Mm-hmm. At the Milwaukee.
I was a manager at Flappers.
Oh, okay.
I was at the Milwaukee Improv. I think I had just quit or something. I don't know. And I was like, oh, I'm from LA. Oh, what part of LA? I'm from Burbank. People in a different state were talking shit about the Burbank Comedy Festival.
Oh, dude.
They were like, you were to the Burbank Comedy Festival? And I was like, oh my fucking God. And they were like, what's the name of the club? And I was like, Flappers. And they were like, that was the most bullshit. And I'm like, bro, you know it's bad when people in a different state.
Dude,
Oh my
dude,
god.
I had the all-time. So the Burbank Comedy Festival, like I didn't do it, but I like went just because I can just walk on stage. 'Cause I knew Heidi and Sean. Like this is back when they were like working it and stuff.
That's when I met Heidi and like Peter Murphy, Sean Porter, like.
So I was like, I can just walk on, right?
Yeah.
So I'm there, and these fucking douchebag comics from Boston were there.
Stop.
And this one guy did this terrible. He bombed the whole time, and then just was blaming the crowd. Typical white male energy. Even though we're all white. Anyway.
Yeah. I've done it.
Yeah. If you guys don't like this podcast, no.
She's done it.
Yeah, you're not white. Anyway, so this guy, he was bombing so hard, and he did this terrible joke about how he's like, I think if you have a gun, it should be like the size of your dick, like that's as big as it could be, whatever, right? And he just bombed and whatever, right?
Mine's a bazooka.
I went up right, I think right after or whatever, and I just made a joke about it. I was like, I literally did that joke. I literally was like. I literally making fun of him. I was like, oh yeah, I guess if your dick could be the gun, might should be a rocket launcher or a bazooka or whatever, right? And everyone laughed, but he got real red. He got mad or whatever, and then he yells out. He goes, what? So you can show it to your boyfriend?
Amazing.
And I just go, without missing a beat, I just go, yeah, aren't you his ex? Like you got stuck on all my shows, dude. Like it's getting creepy. And then he got even more mad. Or whatever, and I was like, oh, you want to yell out? So we're gonna talk. I go. So you're doing the festival. You're in town from Boston. I just start, and he goes, yeah, and I go, nice, dude. Flappers pay for your flight, or how'd you guys get out here? And then he didn't say anything. I go, what hotel they put you guys up in? And just everyone's laughing, but them. You know what I mean? I go, dude. I didn't even sign up for this festival. I'm on stage right now. I just started, dude. And Sean and Heidi are losing it in the back. And I'm just like, because I was like, I didn't even pay to do this festival. So my whole set just turned into fucking roasting these Boston comics.
I love the idea of these two super East Coast white dudes being like, fuck you, no, fuck you. Yeah. Just that aggressive East Coast.
Well, he never said anything else. He was just after he said the boyfriend thing, he was just cherry red the whole rest of the time.
They're on the plane ride, you ready to go shit on LA?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck these.
Well, I was playing it dumb the whole time. I was like, what hotel they put you guys up in?
It's so funny.
That's so good. Flappers fly out.
And I go, dude, I live in Silver Lake, and I didn't even fucking come and sign up for this shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, fuck you, idiot.
Dude, I remember that festival was happening.
I wish you were there so bad.
That was right when I was starting comedy. So and Flappers gave me, after one of the open mics, they gave me free passes to it. And I was like, I gotta get off work for this. This is a big comedy festival. I was like, this is huge. This is Coachella fucking comedy, I guess. I was like, I gotta go. My work was like, we can't give you this day off. I'm like, I have to. This is such a big opportunity for me to go watch these people.
You know how they take everyone's numbers too? Yeah. Dude, they called my girlfriend 2 years ago. This was 2 or 3 years ago, and they're like, hey, you should come see a show sometime. She's like, yeah, you should book my boyfriend again.
They got telemarketers for
they're cold calling people.
I love that she reverse Uno'd that. She was like, I'm gonna send you his avails.
Yeah, what a dude. Anyway, sorry, I didn't know this was gonna dude. But
I do love that this turned into the shit talk. But I will say, Flappers made me host a bunch.
I was gonna say I met my favorite people there.
My favorite people from Flappers.
I 100%
And it's funny because I'm gonna text Josh after this and be like, "Can I send you my avails before he sees this?"
Did you see that one dude's podcast? He did an entire podcast on. I don't even know the comic. Maybe you might, but we'll pull it up because it was real funny. Someone sent it to me, and it was just an entire hour and a half podcast of them reading Flappers Yelp reviews. Dude, you have to watch it. It's
devastating.
So
devastating.
Fun,
oh shit.
Devastating.
Oh shit.
It's all the employees that are just back there being like, help us.
It's so funny too. And I'm cool with the employees there too. That was the worst part is when I remember when Sean stopped doing his mic there and they were and I was like, everyone's sad oh, Sean's leaving. I'm like, I'm never coming back either. I was like, you guys are gonna be
It sucks because that No Blender bar show, that bar mic, like it can be super dope.
Yeah.
I did.
Like,
I see it'd be dope.
It's so funny because like I will so heavily recommend that mic to people.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, it's like good audience, whatever. But like I won't go.
Yeah.
I'll be like, you should go. It's fun.
Yeah.
But like I think I'm banned. I think if I walk in,
You know,
then
Dion,
like,
he runs a show there in the bar now,
Yeah.
and so me and Sean did it like a couple of months ago, and it was fun, like just to see everybody and like you know
Right.
whatever. But it was also real funny because fucking Josh put himself on the show too.
Of
He puts himself
course.
on every show, and he's still doing the same fucking jokes that I heard back when I was there 3 years ago, and I'm like, dude,
I love it.
like
He can't have sex or that's half of his material gone. Like truly at this point.
yeah, he's not,
I
he's
guess-
not,
Oh my
he's not
God.
only losing his virginity, he's losing his entire.
My first open mic there, it was the first time I ever did stand up.
I just spit across the room. That was so
Oh
funny.
shit, I missed it. Oh my, did it hit me?
I don't think so.
Did you
but that-
squirt on me?
It's just like on my
We'll cut that. We're gonna cut that.
Oh
That was
my
so
God.
funny though. The way we just both reacted to that.
You were saying your first.
Remember the
open mic.
first mic I did there, very first time I did stand up. There were things I wanted to say. I didn't know what. I'd go up and then I'm like,
Yeah.
And I tried to wing it, and then I get off stage and Josh was like, come here. And I was like, huh?
Iconic.
And he was like, you shouldn't be talking about your dick if you're a straight white male. And I was like, okay. And he's like,
said
you
that?
shouldn't be talking about abortion if you're a straight white male. And I was like, okay, what the fuck? And
Yeah.
like fucking Jewy CK fucking like, what
Oh
the
my
fuck? Who
God.
is this?
When he hit what's his name with the door was the best moment. of all
Dude,
time.
Sam. Oh my god,
Sam,
R.I.P.
dude. When he hit Sam with the door, Sam walking back like again, he's like first or second mic ever. Like he's one of like one of the Ice House dudes. Never been to mic. Whatever. He's coming back with like 2 drinks and like that swinging door to go to the kitchen.
No.
Just crushes him with it. I'm right
Knocks
behind.
the drinks
Oh,
out.
no.
Drinks go
Drinks
flying.
are gone.
And like,
Just-
and Sam's like so like, oh, I'm sorry. And swear to God, Josh looks at him, not an ounce of sympathy. He just looks at him and goes, "Watch where you're going."
and keeps moving. Yeah, and keeps
Like a
going.
bully from an '80s movie, dude.
Oh
It was
my
the
God.
most hilarious. And like the way Sam looked back at me, he was like,
It was like
so,
slow
like-
motion.
yeah, like, so like,
Watch where it just pushes him into a
Oh,
locker.
dude, it was so
like
funny.
adjusts his pants that are falling off of him. Look out,
Your
nerd.
fucking lunch money.
Yeah,
fuck.
literally. Oh my God.
well, anyway, after the Flappers Hate Fest, but so you started out.
I started comedy
10
in LA.
minutes.
That's
Yeah.
as good as Burbank Comedy
Yeah.
Fest.
10 minute.
I did not
So,
mean for this.
so
like,
look in the comments for the sign up for the Burbank Comedy
Yeah.
Fest.
we drop a link to the fucking
yeah, in
open
the
mic.
description we got you.
Oh my God, Jesus.
If you're in Boston listening, you should sign up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be our only Boston listener so
Yeah,
far. I'll tell you
it's
that.
worth it. Fly out.
No,
But yeah,
but
I
so
started-
you did Groundlings when you came out.
Yeah.
Interesting, because I tried to do like improv and shit when I was like living in the Bay.
Yeah.
And again, it's one of those things like if you're more of a stand up, you'll know by doing it.
Yes.
Because you're like. Because people think you're funny. Like, the people he worked with will like you, but the teacher of the troupe or whatever, he was like, you're always trying to be funny. And I'm like, yeah, isn't this supposed to be funny? Yeah.
the
Like, he
point.
didn't like, and everyone else was like, oh, you're definitely going to get in, like, the thing because you're so funny, blah, blah, blah. And then we went to the thing and I didn't get picked. And they were like, what?
Really?
Yeah. They were like, but then everyone was like, it's because, again, I you can kind of tell. I was like, the guy didn't like, I don't want to say I was funnier than him. But, like, you know what I mean? I think I was funnier than him. And he was just like, yeah, because everyone was like, wow, you need, like, they all liked working with me. I don't know.
I had like a weird experience because I did the beginner class and I got past the first time, which everybody was like, oh, you got past the first time through? And I was like, yeah, okay. And then I had the same teacher for intermediate and he was like, I don't really want to pass you your first time through on 2 different courses.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, but I passed. And he was like, well, yeah, but there's always more you could learn. And so he like had me redo it. And I was like, so we agree that I passed, but you're going to have me. So I redid it and ended up doing the advanced. And then I think I had like, I don't know, I was like doing one of the writing labs when the pandemic happened. And then I was talking to somebody and I was like, so what do we do after this? Like, what's like after? And they were like, oh, you're like on the wait list for the Sunday Company for like 5 years. And I was like, dude, fuck.
Jesus.
I don't know. Like,
Did you act in high school or anything, or was it like, did you kind of like, when did you decide you wanted to do any of that?
I mean, I did broadcast journalism. That's what I majored in. And yeah, I did acting in high school. I got into theater directing in college. And I did some improv, but like, I don't know. I just always wanted to do the Groundlings.
Yeah.
That was just always like on my bucket list.
Yeah. It's
And
a big thing.
It's a big thing.
Yeah.
And so I auditioned and I got in and I was enjoying the classes, but it just never was like,
Yeah.
it was just never like the
That
thing.
feeling.
Nothing super like clicked like that.
Yeah,
Like,
everyone else
this
was.
is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I always say the first time I ever did an open mic in Pittsburgh, I ran off. Like I knew right then.
100%.
I knew right then.
You know what? Shout out to Genesis Soul. We were doing acting classes together. So I was doing acting while doing the Groundlings. And she was going to these open mics. And she was like, have you ever done stand-up? And I was like, oh, I've always thought about it. But like, I just don't know if I'm that kind of funny. Because I was so in improv brain.
Mm-hmm.
That like the idea
It's
of
different though. It is different.
it's totally different. The back and forth is totally different. But then like she took me, I think, to like one of my first open mics, which was Big Chillin'. And I literally was like, this is it. It fucking clicked. And it was like everything that I didn't like about improv was what I loved about stand-up.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, because I literally, it was like a dive bar I was in. It's called the Smiling. It doesn't even exist anymore in Pittsburgh. It was called the Smiling Moose, and they had an open mic night.
Yeah.
And it was like a hallway mic, and I made the mistake of telling the MC, I'm like, that's my first time doing stand up. So he's like, said it, and then I ran out the bar, I was like, oh, like kind of probably, I don't know, fast, got out of there.
adrenaline.
Yeah, and then some older comic came out. He's like smoking a cigarette, and he was like, I already didn't even need to hear him say it, but he was like, "It's your first time?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You should keep doing it." I was like,
Oh, I love that.
"Oh, cool." And then it's crazy. That was 2017, and now it's
Wow.
2025. You know.
Wow.
But the
Yeah.
pandemic robbed us from like so much of like that
Dude,
time.
the pandemic is such a fucking time warp. It's like when you're playing Sorry and you hit that like, that like
Yeah.
Were you
slider
living in
thing.
LA before the pandemic?
Yeah, I've been living in LA since like 2015.
Okay.
So,
And then
like,
when did you like start doing stand up out here?
you know, I kind of like fucked around at the fourth wall, but I think Genesis took me to that mic. God, I want to say like 2018.
Okay, and then pandemic rolls around 2020.
Yeah, and even then I was just like kind of goofing. Like I knew that it's what I wanted to do, but it's like I had to finish my classes and I was in, you know, these scene studies classes, whatever. So I kind of like goofed around for a few years. But then honestly, when the pandemic happened and everything else shut down, I kind of told myself like, okay, you're doing too much. Just focus on one thing. And the obvious choice for me was to do stand-up.
Nice.
So I quit improv, I quit acting, whatever, and I just focused on stand-up.
Nice.
And that's when all the like illegal underground backyard mics was happening. Was like 2020, 2021.
I wish I
Yeah.
could have been there for that.
Oh, dude, shout out to Jungle House, R.I.P. The illegal backyard mics, like meeting in parking lots and stuff. Like,
Oh, that's awesome.
I think that's when I really was like, when I just focused on one thing, I was like, oh, like, this is it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is fucking it.
That's amazing.
So like I always say that I started in 2020 because I think that's when I got serious about it.
100. I was gonna say like I was because I moved down here like tail end of the pandemic because I did that movie down here and I was like,
Yeah.
this is more open than the Bay Area was. But I always say I'm like I feel like I'm one of the few people that kind of like helped because it kind of like reset everybody.
Totally.
So like everyone kind of came back out of the woods and
Well, I was doing too much. I was doing improv and this and that, and it was like one of those things of like if you're moving too many pieces, none of them really gets ahead.
what's that old
Yeah.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Truly. So everything reset, and I was like, I'm just gonna pick one, and like I don't know, it was just stand up, and I just now I think I'm at a point where like maybe I'd like to start adding more stuff.
Well, you know what I was gonna say. You took the words out of my mouth. It's the full quote that people don't finish with that quote. Is Jack of all trades, master of none, but still better than a master of one.
Ooh.
That's the full, and people always cut out the back part of it, and
That's
that's
what I
why
feel.
that's why like I kind of started this podcast myself, and now it's so nice having like
Yeah.
Noah and Alec a part of it because it's like I started by myself, but it's like I realize now it's like, and we're gonna start streaming like video games after the pod and stuff, and it's
Hell
like
yeah.
you got to like build your brand more than one thing.
Yes.
But and I got down here on acting too, so like I still act and stuff,
Yeah.
but it's like I realized kind of like you did, where it's like I had to focus on stand up because it will help build my other avenues that other stuff I want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because and a lot of this stuff is like we get a good amount of viewership now, but it's like it's going to be a lot of backloading where it's like Noah blows up, you blow up, I blow up. It's like they'll go back and search like Noah Bergman, and then this will pop
Pops
up.
up
You see what I'm
here.
saying? It's like
Noah Bergman canceled for this. You're like, whoa, this is the podcast he was on?
Hates flappers. What the fuck?
yeah. Isn't a Jew? No.
Question mark, question mark.
Yeah, no, but you know what I'm saying? It's just like
Yeah.
you got to diversify, definitely.
That's totally where I am, because I've just been so focused on just stand-up for the past few years that now I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the comics that are really successful, and I'm like, okay, I gotta get back into acting. I gotta get the headshots. I gotta get back on the casting network. I gotta like get that commercial money or whatever. It's the play. It's the improv. It's whatever. So now I think my next phase is like looking around at like, what's the other thing?
You should look into voice acting.
Yeah.
I work at a voice acting studio, and
Do you need a Tara Reid impersonator?
Yes, it'd be perfect. But it's crazy at the like how stand up and voice acting overlaps. Like the stand ups that come through the studio, like I see all the time, like Adam Ray, Harlan Williams, like even a bunch of like more local guys. Like there's so many stand ups that are just getting thrown on these voice gigs.
That makes sense.
It's so many of the people I work at the Ice House also come through the studio, and they're like, what the fuck are you doing here? And I'm just like, oh my God.
That makes sense, because cadence and inflection is everything.
Yeah.
Same with like commercials. Like I love seeing.
And they like people who can goof around.
Oh
in
yeah. I
Yeah.
love seeing comics and commercials.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I know you probably improvised that.
Yeah.
Like I know you probably just got up on set. And
I was
like,
talking about
Yeah.
how I was bombing up in some bar in NoHo, and I look at the TV and Willie Max in a Subway commercial.
Dude.
I literally just went up to Willie and told him that the story. He was
I see
cracking up.
Martin Morrow in
Martin
every
Morrow.
single commercial.
Bro.
Yeah.
Every
Martin was on
commercial.
our pod.
He's
Martin,
Honda's guy right
he's
now.
literally like the Shaq of
Yeah.
commercials.
He's perfect.
now.
He's like the most like he just the perfect black dude. Got the glasses.
The
got the perfect
perfect-
like Alabama voice.
Yeah,
draw,
he has
like,
his shit together.
Yeah.
They'll be like, he's safe enough to where he could sell car insurance.
Yes.
I love Martin to death.
The
glasses
Go back and watch the
aren't
Martin
threatening.
episode. He's like one of my favorite people.
My
He's
friend-
the most unintentionally funny person I may have ever met.
Oh my God, he is so.
Dude, we'd go to a stand-up show. I think he posted on his story today. I think it was, I love watching bad comedy. I think, dude, we went to his show and he sat in the front row.
He does.
And it was like, dude, I
He
love
sits
him.
in the fucking front row.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
It's so funny.
I don't know a single comic that does
Dude, I
that.
barely
He
knew him.
loves it.
One of my first, like, we would, see each other and, like, always talk and stuff. But for one of the first times we hung out outside of comedy, I was going to Jay Washington's birthday, right?
my
And we show up
God.
and it's a karaoke bar. And it's
At the Oaks Tavern.
Yeah, at
Oh
the Oaks
my
Tavern,
God.
and it's packed to the gills.
Really?
And I'm like, I walk in, and I'm wondering how we're gonna like find them, dude. I look as soon as I walk in, and Martin's playing the trombone,
Oh my God.
not the trumpet, not the saxophone, the trombone, the fucking
Yes, of course.
like,
Whoa.
and I'm like,
Of course.
found him.
Yeah. There
Found
he
him.
is.
Yeah, there's my guy.
And he's like, I just found this. I didn't even bring this
Yeah.
with me.
I'm like,
He's
you're
so
ridiculous.
crazy.
I don't even know how to play it.
He's
Just-
so quirky.
More
my
on a personal note though.
No.
So both your parents are cops, right?
Yes.
Are they still
Whoa.
together?
No, God, no.
Okay, see, that's how I knew. I was like,
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
Okay, I was like, being cops and being together.
No.
I always tell all the time, my parents got divorced when I was like 2, so
Yeah.
I don't ever remember them being together. But were they together like when you were growing up, or was that like? Because I feel like that just adds to the comedic.
Oh my God.
journey.
Well, my parents were fully active duty police officers until I was like maybe 5 or 6 in Oakland, by the way.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not some hick ass backcountry.
They have one of the most. Keep going.
Oh,
But their police department is the most corrupt probably in the country.
It's
Really?
intense.
Yeah.
My
I've
mom.
heard Chicago is too.
Oh yeah.
Well, dude, yeah, that's an inside joke when we were playing golf.
I was talking to my mom, like, during 2020, and she was like, oh, no, like, I wish that we had body cams so that, like, more people could have been held accountable.
Whoa.
And I was like, what the fuck did you just say? And she's
Whoa.
like, and she would tell me, like, the stuff that would go down, and she's like, oh, no, I wish we had body cams.
Dude, you gotta
I wish that we could do that.
I'm gonna have to
Wow.
pull this up. I talk about it all the time because when I work for the Raiders, but I want you to just talk
Oh.
dude. When I work for the Raiders, the story that came out when I worked for the Raiders, okay, the police department had to be put under civilian control in
Literally.
Oakland because they found that the police department found a sex trafficked girl and ended up making her the police department's sex slave.
Whoa.
And the commissioner was compliant with this. So they had to put the thing, and they hired a new commissioner, and they found that person was even compliant. So they literally had to, no confidence, and this wasn't national news. Like, this is like insane that not everyone does this. And it's like, and it's just like, dude, you're supposed to be the people like helping this poor girl.
But
and she was underage too, underage. And it was like, dude, you gotta show this news story, because I talk about all the time where I'm like, people are like, because my girlfriend's from Alameda, right? So it's like from Oakland, Alameda, and it's like, you know what I mean, dude? How it's disgusting and crazy.
Well, it's crazy because like my mom was born and raised in Oakland, and was just sort of like that typical, I want to protect and serve my community.
And got to see the whole transition, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it was like she grew up on those streets, and she would talk about like there's such a difference in the police officers that come from that community.
Yeah.
And are like protecting and serving their friends versus the ones that are like, fuck it, I'm going to go in the shit, and I'm going to fuck it. And you can just tell the difference in their
there are a lot of those guys.
Oh, yeah.
They have like no sense of community. They're just like shit from some other place.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the most like competitive, intense, like, I don't know, departments you can be in.
Wow.
So you got those hoorah guys that are like, yeah, I want to be in the shit, and it's like, this isn't the army. Like, this is you're a civil
It's like going to the
servant.
Comedy Store potluck, Mike. It's just the same crowd of
Everyone's
people.
just like fucking.
You guys are like, oh, I'm just gonna go in the shit. I'm gonna say some wild shit. It's gonna be wild.
It's like the Wild West.
People are there like, no, I'm here for a reason.
No,
they're
we're
like,
here to,
no,
like, it's
be
our-
special.
Oh yeah. So like, oh no, the crazy shit. But she would talk about like trying to, and again, she was like one of the only like women on the force.
Yeah.
So her being able to talk about stuff was like, they would basically be like, no, that doesn't exist.
Yeah, yeah.
They'd be like, no, you can't file this report against this other officer's conduct because like you'll get fired.
Oh,
or the inside baseball of like
it's
cops
its own
protecting
gang.
each other.
Oh,
but then
my
it's sad
God.
because it's like my mom was from the community, and so like she had a rule,
Yeah.
and a bunch of other cops were on board with this. You don't arrest minors.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason to process a kid. Take him home. That's protecting and serving your community. Take that kid home. Let the family deal with it. So that was like, okay, that was some good. You saved that kid from getting into the system too early.
Yeah.
Give him a second chance.
Becoming a comedian.
You're like, you're gonna make a difference. and then you turn around and it's just like, what are you doing? Like, no, but
I have someone who's been in trouble a lot. I've dealt with people who are better to deal with than obviously people who aren't, and it's like it's just a tough job when it's like. And that's always the excuse for like you can't be a bad cop because it's like it's such a, you know what I mean, like but it's crazy, like, because especially like your parents, like back when they were coming up, it's like,
bro,
like you said, before body cams and before like,
dude, my mom was like, I wish, because we were talking about George Floyd when that whole thing happened, and I was like, what's your opinion on this? And she's like, I fucking wish we had body cams. I wish these fuckers were held accountable.
You guys should watch this documentary on Netflix. It's called The 51st, and it's like the 51st precinct in New York back in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
And they all got arrested. Like they got arrested by the FBI.
Yes.
And like they asked the guy in federal court, they're like, by the time you got arrested, did you consider yourself more of a cop or a criminal? And he was like, criminal. He like
wow.
literally, like, he's like, yeah, it's like, but I mean, Oakland is, again, having lived there, it's like, and working for the Raiders, shout out the Raiders.
It's
but
intense.
It's like, yeah, it's crazy. It's like, I respect like the people who do it right. You know what I mean?
I mean,
it is tough.
My mom retired off of disability because she was in a car accident. And then I think my dad retired pretty soon after, because at that time I was like 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
We moved to Sacramento. So get this, my parents stay married,
Mm-hmm.
even though we all beg them not to. I'm like, please get divorced. They stay married until I announce that I'm moving to Los Angeles. And then my parents were like, well, all right, we're getting divorced.
Yeah, nothing else.
Oh my God.
So like I remember like selling the house, and we all drove off in like our own separate like little U-Hauls.
It's like a movie moment.
Truly.
Like the credits roll after
Truly,
that.
we all just like go in like different directions.
Oh my God.
And I was like, wow, you really did just like hold it together for the
Oh
kids.
my God.
Yeah,
that
Troopers.
that is. I always find that interesting too, because it's like because I grew up with like I was like the one kid that like my parents were divorced and everyone else's parents were like together, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, but now all my friends are getting divorced
Oh,
because
yeah.
now that they're like old and out of the house. Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's weird.
It was so
Like I keep finding out
weird.
every time I go home, I got at somebody's wedding and they're like, their parents are with like a girlfriend and a boyfriend.
And you're
I'm
like,
like, you guys aren't together anymore. Like,
It's weird to adjust to the divorce like later in life.
yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know, I think I was like 22, 24 when they got divorced. And then I was like, oh, like I don't know how to adjust
Yeah, you
to
live your
this
whole
now.
life with like one Christmas, one Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
like those kind of things.
Now I
And then
gotta
you're like,
juggle
how do I split this time?
Yeah.
And,
Well, I do that
yeah.
joke about it. I'm like, people are like, was it cool having 2 Christmases? I'm like, my dad didn't give a fuck about that shit. Like,
You ever juggle 2 part-time jobs?
yeah, right. It's like,
That's
Yeah.
what it's like.
Yeah.
but too, it's like it's funny because all right, when people, all right, this is just an interesting segue. But like people who don't do comedy, they'll be like, because I'm like prone to like being depressed and shit like that. You know what I mean? So like, do you think that?
Comics? No.
Yeah. But the thing with people who don't do comedy, they're like, do you have to be to be funny? I'm like, no. There's plenty of people I know that are well off and adjusted that are funny. Like you don't have to be that way to be funny. Like
You don't have to be
as someone who
fucked up.
is that way.
You don't need shoes to run, but it helps.
Yeah.
That is so Michael Mansour.
Yeah, you don't need to brush the paint, but
I'll never forget. I was at Fourth Wall, Burbank, North Hollywood, and Michael Mansour gets on stage and he goes, "You know you can do this if you're happy too, right?" And all of us were like, "Fuck you." We're all like, comedy's therapy. He's like, "You know, you could just like be happy and do this."
that was one of my favorite Brandon Cheeks like things. We were at Flappers in the Yoo-Hoo room, and it's like 5 o'clock mic, whatever. And he's like, "Yeah, people who aren't comics, they'll ask me like, how do I do this?" And he's like, "I'm drunk, motherfucker."
Oh my
And he's like,
God.
"This mic's at 5, so I gotta start drinking at 3."
Yeah.
He's like
Like,
I
I
was
gotta get-
cracking up. I was like,
I'm like, I gotta get ready.
yeah,
Fucking.
yeah. It's like, yeah. But,
Oh my
No,
God,
I
that's
don't feel like you
incredible.
have to be like fucking sad to do this thing. Like I feel like I know comics who are definitely funny that aren't.
I do feel like you do have to have a unique point of view.
Yeah.
Like you can be happy.
Yeah.
You can be happy. That can be your thing. Like Pete Holmes does a great job of being well-adjusted and funny, but he's got a point of view. You have to have a specific point
You're
of
gonna be
view.
able to stand there and look at something from this angle and be like, huh,
Yeah.
this is what I think about it.
I'm seeing it from this angle.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to see it like how I see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come over here.
You can be happy,
You
but
want to
you
stay over there? I'll tell you about it.
Yeah. You just can't be vanilla
Yeah. 100%.
or be vanilla bean. I don't know.
100%.
Someone in the comments is like, I like vanilla. But yeah, like you can be happy, but you have to have like a distinct like. That's back to Josh at Flappers. One time he literally was like, "You should only talk about your
Oh,
parents."
dude.
He was like, "That's the funniest thing about you is that your parents are cops." And he was like, "You could do all cop comedy. You could talk to the precincts." And I was like, "What the fuck?"
The only time he ever gave me advice was the first time I ever did it at the mic, and he goes, "Yeah, you're good, but you should talk more about yourself." And I go, "No one knows who I am." That's what I said. But I always say the opposite advice to people who start out is complete opposite. What he said is like, because people they'll be like when you get 5 minutes, no one's gonna find out who you are in 5 minutes. Just make them laugh in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like they spend their 5 minutes being like. Trying to overtell them about themselves or like be like, oh, this, and I'm like, dude, you're trying to be like your favorite comic who has 50 minutes to talk.
Yeah.
You have 5. Like
Yeah.
no one's there to figure out who you
Right.
are in 5 minutes.
I love when I'm listening to a no comic and they go, "So one thing about me,"
Oh,
and you're like, "Hell yeah!" But I mean,
you guys might not think this is funny, but
Every
then
com-
don't say it, bitch. can't
I
stand
do
that.
think that every comic goes through that phase of like, you have to write a joke about where you're from. You have to write a joke about how your name is funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to write a joke about your siblings. Like we all have to, and then especially LA comics, you have to write a joke about traffic,
Dating.
the homeless, dating.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to make a bingo card and it's going to be like all of those topics.
I just keep dating all these homeless people in traffic. All
You're like,
right, what's going on?
Blackout.
I'm a Scientologist.
Yeah. So the crazy thing about my last name is you're like, okay, got it.
Are you guys dating in LA?
You're like, I'm almost there. No, they're super divorced.
We should do that. We should make a fucking
Yes, like a
open mic
like
bingo,
bingo.
card.
Yes, an open mic bingo, dude. I would
That
fucking
would be
die.
incredible.
It just is
You
like-
sit back there. There's the dick joke. Like my dick is huge.
It's just like it's like the
My
genitals.
girlfriend broke up with me.
Yes.
Free
Yeah.
space. It's a
Yeah.
free space because that's
Yeah.
you're gonna get that.
Genitals.
I can't get laid.
Current president. hot topic.
Yeah.
I can't
Current
get laid.
topic.
I get laid all the time.
Yeah.
Two different things.
Yeah.
I'm a slut.
They're
I'm a
next to
virgin.
each other.
You got-
Shit, that's
yeah.
a bingo right there.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, shit.
We should do this.
What do you win?
Holy
You get to
shit.
do this open mic for free next week. Half off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to do this mic till eternity.
You get some feedback on your set.
What do you win? I don't kill myself at the end of this.
So
Is
were your like
bisexual.
parents like strict growing up since they
I
were
was
off?
curious of that too. Yeah.
So fucking strict.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
my
Okay.
God.
I mean, I don't see it.
My mom was cool because she was like, whatever, just like, don't get hurt, don't get pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like she was like, you're gonna do shit.
Your mom seems like the cooler one as from the stories you're telling.
Oh, she's
a
very
little
cool.
more laid
Yeah.
back, but still
Hey,
on it.
girl cops always like me more.
My mom would be
It was
like,
nicer to me.
my mom would be like, if you do drugs, just like make sure they're good. Like she was that kind of person. Where she'd be like, if you're gonna get drunk at a friend's house, make sure you trust that friend. Whatever.
Yeah.
My dad, oh dude, so strict.
Yeah, but
I remember being at like a slumber party, and my dad would literally just show up, come in, look to see that I was there, and then leave.
Oh
He would
my god.
Just check.
Oh my god.
And he did this so
Did
notoriously.
you ever just hide?
Well,
Just
and
fuck-
my whole thing was like, bro,
Where is she?
bro, you couldn't cover it up and be like, oh, Amanda forgot her phone charger.
Oh my god.
To like cover up the reason. But no, he would literally just show up
it's like
and
when
be
you're in high
like,
school.
yes, middle school, high school.
Wow.
And then he'd be like, look, I just showed up to see that you're here. And then we would get clever and we'd wait for the check-in and then leave. But then one time he knew that we were doing
He double
it.
check.
He waited in his car.
No.
He did the check. We changed. And we go out the front door and he's just in his car.
No.
And I
Oh
was
my
like,
god.
motherfucking Terminator.
Just off duty.
Dude, bro.
On
just
duty.
Fucking.
I couldn't have more of a different. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like my parents never knew anything.
If my parents could have air tagged me, they would have.
That's crazy.
I was so convinced that they like. I used to leave my phone at my friend's house.
How old are your
Oh
parents,
my
if you don't mind me
God.
asking?
They're
Because mine are older than everybody else, so they were just like, oh,
Yeah, mine were older.
they didn't give a fuck.
They didn't care as much.
I mean, my dad was
Well,
dead, so
not
then
to
you just had
be
my
a-
mom, and then
not
it was
to be a
like,
dick, but you're boys.
yeah, true,
True.
that too.
No one's
True.
trying.
No, your dad, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
my
yeah.
dad would be like,
Yeah.
everybody.
And I had all brothers too, so like
Oh.
it was just like,
Oh.
yeah.
So they were worried for the public, not
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Oh no, my dad was.
I'm the one getting arrested. Not
Yeah. My dad was just like, everyone is trying to rape you. Everyone's trying to kidnap you.
Oh my
No, true.
god.
When Taken.
God, I can't have a girl.
Oh my God.
Oh, take.
When
I
Ta-
can't imagine
Taken ruined
what
my
you
life.
went through. Oh my god.
Taken ruined my life.
Dad's Liam Neeson.
Oh, my dad used to be like, if they kidnap you, you better hope they kill you.
Telling all the other girls at the sleepover, I will
Literally.
find you and I
Yeah.
will kill you.
No,
Have a
when-
good night, Amanda.
Have a good
On
night.
the way out.
When Taken came out,
That's
it
hilarious.
literally like reaffirmed all of my dad's like psychotic suspicions. That movie came out and he was like, I knew it. You told you. It could happen. And I'm like,
This is a true story.
oh my God.
Yeah.
He'd be like, and they're gonna sex traffic you, and we'd be like, yeah, whatever. And then
That's
that
so
movie
funny.
came out, and I was like, oh my God.
Your dad is Qui-Gon Jinn.
Dude, my dad fucking wishes. I used to, but also like my best friend growing up, her parents were like law enforcement, CHP and stuff. So like the fucking hoops and elaborate lies that we would jump through. She would text me and just be like, hey, I was at your place last night. We watched this movie and we ate burritos. And I'd be like, cool, I guess I got a cover for Marie today.
Oh wow.
That's where my improv started. We would literally go to someone's house, but we would tell our parents, like, oh, we were at Olive Garden. This is the lengths we would go
Olive
to.
Garden.
Because there was an
Oh,
Olive...
we went to Olive Garden.
Because
Yeah, I got
it
the
was...
tour of Italy.
Because it was by the guy's house. We would go to Olive Garden, say we had to use the restroom, pull a receipt off the table. That's called falsifying physical evidence.
You really are the daughter of two cops.
I'd be like, I have an alibi, officer.
Yeah.
Yes, we did order 6 paninis or whatever the fuck. Oh, yeah. We would literally be like, okay, but how can we prove this to our parents?
That's crazy.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
so strict.
It's so funny too, because like my buddy had like this massive. We could I want to maybe pull it up, but it's on the news,
Pull it
on
up.
the Pittsburgh Public News of like, hey, this guy did a huge party and only 2 people got away and I was one of them. But he ripped my jeans square in half. And both his parents are doctors. They almost lost their doctoring license because like they had this big underage party. I'm the only one who got away. Like they're literally, yeah, someone escaped out the back door and I'm blacked out, dude. I did like 8 beer bongs that night, blah, blah, blah. So this kid had to go around town and like put notes in everyone's doors who was at the party, right? And he's about to do it at my house. It's one of my best friends, Chris Neighbors. And literally on the thing, I go, I call him. I find out he's doing this. I go, dude, don't do it to my house. And he goes, I'm on my way there right now. Why? And I go, my parents have no idea the party even happened. He goes, it's on the news. He's like, it's on the news.
Project X.
Yeah, he's like, it's literally on the news. I go, yeah, they don't, like, they have no idea.
Don't fuck this up
Yeah,
for
they have
me.
no idea. And he goes, because every, like, parent hated him in town after that. He goes, dude, that's awesome. He's like,
God.
my parents still liked him, like, had no idea that he, like,
Oh.
ever had this
Sweet
party.
boy
Yeah.
that kid is.
Yeah, and I was like, do not tell. Like, I was like, do not tell him that they have this party. But that's how out of like touch they were. Like, I could literally say, I was like, oh yeah, I was at Michael's house, or I was doing this, or I was doing that, and we'd be out all fucking night. Like,
Wow.
I never mattered.
To be fair, I was, because of how crazy they were, and I knew I would get caught, I was pretty straight edge in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got to college and I moved out, I was like,
Yeah,
like, But oh yeah, my dad would be like, it's Friday night.
Well, that's why
What are
I
you
feel like
doing
people
after the football
who
game?
like know you would be surprised to like find that out because you're like, you're a good time.
Oh yeah, I'm fun now.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that I live in a different zip code as them. I still, dude, sometimes I'll still smoke weed and I'll be like, somehow my parents know.
Yeah, get paranoid.
I'll be like, they'll fucking know. Dude, he would Terminator my ass. He would know where I would be.
I picture him just running down the street, chasing after you, like just like Terminator 2.
Literally, remember in Terminator 1 when she's like at that bar and like the crowd parts and he's just standing there?
Yeah.
Low key, my dad, at every football game, he'd be like, what are you doing after this? And I'd be like, coming straight home, officer.
Were
Like,
they even like when you were younger? Were they like strict about like what movies you watched and stuff, or was it?
so, yes and no.
Because like that where you found like comedy? Were you like a fan of comedy movies growing up and stuff, or was it more of like?
My dad did show me a lot of comedies. He was really big into like Chris Farley. My mom was really big into like Steve Martin. Like they're really big comedy fans, but like low key, my dad loves horror movies,
Okay.
but my mom does not. So
That's the opposite dynamic. My dad hated him. He always called them screechers. He's like, I ain't watching those fucking screechers.
this is so funny. I haven't thought about this story in so long. My dad loves horror movies. My mom will not watch them with him. So he would watch them with me, and I was way too fucking young to be watching them. But he'd make it into a game. So it'd be like, I remember we were watching like Friday the 13th. Hell yeah, brother.
Oh,
Oh, dude, I'm like salivating.
you want a beer?
Do you want one?
Oh my God, I love a beer.
I'm so sorry.
This is the best podcast ever. I remember watching Friday the 13th, and my dad would play this game, and it'd be called What Did They Do Wrong? Right before a woman dies in a horror movie,
Oh no!
my dad
He
would.
is a cop.
Yes,
That's the most cop
and
game.
that's how he would justify watching scary movies. And
Pause
I'm-
it after. Now, what was she wearing?
Literally. What did she do wrong? She went to investigate the noise. She's not wearing shoes. Okay, now what do you do in that instance? I inform local law enforcement and I lock myself inside. And what's the other thing you don't do? Go to a co-ed summer camp. Got it. Okay. And my mom came home and was like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm teaching our daughter
Yeah.
how to
like-
survive in the real world.
She's like, you're traumatizing our dog.
literally. And I'd be like, oh man, we'd be watching. But the one that fucked us up was like, okay, Friday the 13th, how to outsmart Mrs. Voorhees. Halloween, how to outsmart Michael.
Right.
The one that fucked us up was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, dude, the nightmares.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah,
fight
yeah.
the dreams.
What do
you just
Can't fight the
thought?
dreams.
Yeah.
He's
No.
like, I don't want to go to bed. Dude, I'm telling you, I was scared. I remember watching The Mummy when I was super young.
Dude,
And when the
no.
dude gets his eyeballs taken out,
No.
his tongue, and I'm
Oh,
like, I was
yeah.
literally like 5.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm just like, I could never
yeah.
make. I would always get to that part and be like, I'll be good.
Be so tough.
Yeah, and then just be like,
Dude, when I was young, my stepdad showed me Final Destination when my mom was on call
coming out with a
as
new
a
one?
nurse. Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
He's like shaking. He's like, yeah, I can't wait to go see
fucked
it.
up. I was so young though, I couldn't put pieces together. I was just watching people fucking die. It was insane. And my mom was at work, and there was that one scene where like the guy leaves like the stove on or something, his ring falls in the drain, and then he's like reaching in and gets stuck, and then it fucking explodes. I wasn't able to put those pieces together, so all I saw was like that scene. And when my mom would go like do dishes, I'd just start fucking crying because I'd be like, my mom's gonna explode. Her hands in the sink.
That
Oh
is-
no!
That
I'm
is
like,
so
fuck.
cute as a kid, but as a grown adult, I'd be like, no.
Yeah, like mom, keep your ring away from the sink. It's gonna make us all die. Please, no.
Did you see that meme? It was like it's like some kind of skyscraper. And there's like a pool that hangs over it, you know. And the guy's
Oh,
behind-
yeah.
And he just said like, these kids have never seen Final Destination shows.
Yeah.
Like,
Or it's like the back of a log truck.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
that was like the real good one.
That was the
That was a good one.
Every time.
Because the original one was the plane that crashes, right?
The plane crash,
Yeah,
yes.
the plane crash. And they're like, all right, 9/11, we can't do the plane again.
Yeah.
Planes are off limits now.
like, what's
so
more
we're-
American?
Yeah, so we're gonna do a log. We're gonna do
dude.
logs.
No, we watched so many violent movies growing up.
I mean, I talk about that all the time. Like, my dad took us to see American Pie 1 and 2 in at a
fuck?
yeah, at a drive-in. And it was when the second one came out. So
That's the only way to see
so
it.
my older brother was probably 10. I'm like fucking 7, and I'm seeing this guy fuck a pie, and I'm like, I don't even know what jerking off is, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this guy's banging
There's
pie.
some smelly sex going on in the
Yeah.
truck behind
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
First time you got a contact high,
Yeah.
also.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna go home and fuck this pie. I know that, but no, I remember, dude, multiple times, because he always was like, you're as old as your older brother. I'm like, we're like 4 years apart. It's not like he's 10, I'm fucking 6.
You
Like,
both
I
know what a
can't
boner is, right?
Yeah.
Let's go see this movie.
I can't even tie my shoes yet. You want to watch Armageddon?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh,
And he was
yeah.
crazy. I remember the first time, I remember one time, he literally walked out. They were divorced, obviously. But he walked out with a Playboy, and he just, like, puts it in my hand, and he just goes, and it was the first time I ever seen a vagina. I'm like, whoa. And he just goes, you like that? And I go, yeah. And he goes, good. And just takes it and leaves. And I was just like, what just happened? I was like, what just happened?
He was testing you.
Yeah, he was like, I just want to make sure you're not gay.
How does this make you feel?
Yeah. I was so thrown off. I was just like,
Making sure my boy's not a
whoa,
freak.
But you're also like not even sexual yet, so
No.
you're like, I guess.
yeah, and I'm just like walking through the house. Like,
It
just-
That's
looks
the thing
good.
that traumatizes you and like turns you gay. You're
Yeah,
like, ah,
yeah.
what is
And I was
that?
like, I didn't know it was gonna look like that.
No. And you're like, that's the reason I can't.
I think
eat
I was
pussy.
forced to like pussy at an
Yeah.
early age, and that's
It's
why
like
I
a
like
fever
dick
dream
now.
though, where I'm like,
Yeah, it like totally flips.
yeah.
No, I was like telling my friend, I was like, I think my dad made me like queer on accident. Cause like we were never, my parents did not like me watching Disney movies with princesses.
Oh.
Cause they were like, you're gonna be a strong, independent woman. And I was like, okay.
You don't need no prince to come save you.
Literally.
Yeah.
It'd be like Pocahontas, questionable, but fine.
Mulan, watch
a
Mulan.
lot of Mulan.
lot of Mulan.
Yes.
Pauses Mulan. All right, what did she do wrong,
What did she do
Amanda?
wrong? Trust a man. Trust the white man. Pocahontas. What do we not do? Trust a man named John. Okay. But like, so, okay, this is good and bad. But he was really, really into showing me movies with strong female characters. I love Alien. Because he'd be like,
yeah.
Ripley's a badass
Siggy
woman.
Weave.
And you're like, I saw her in her underwear and she's hot.
And I'd be like, I'm into this. And then also, like, yeah, Terminator 2, Sarah Connor. He'd be like, I want you to
Connor,
be like
yes.
Sarah Connor. And I was like, I want to be in Sarah Connor.
Yeah, I want to be inside her.
Why are you showing me these sexy women and being like, how are you bi? And I'm like, she spends the first half of the movie just like working out.
Yeah.
She's gonna go back in time, turn her lesbian, so she
And so when
never
he
has
al-
a son.
Literally.
Alien and Terminator 2 or Terminator, both the two
Yeah.
hilarious ones.
Yeah, he'd be
Oh.
like, I want you to be a strong, like he'd always show me like those movies and I'd be like, dude, why are you surprised that I'm into women?
Yeah, right.
My God.
Yeah.
I go back and I watch that and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like in her underwear the last 20 minutes of Alien.
Amanda,
Literally.
someday I want you to kill Bill.
Yeah. Literally. You want to be like Sarah Connor, a questionable mom? Like have PTSD. I want you to be like Sarah Connor, spend most of my time in the middle distance.
You
Paranoid.
feel like Sarah Connor now after being in the LA comedy scene this much? Just
Yeah,
like a
dude.
roughed up Sarah Connor. It's like
I'm like just like cleaning
you're
my
just
gun.
loading your gun. Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking.
I've seen some freaking shit, man. Just waiting to be validated. I knew it. Literally. Oh my God. I love. Yes, I do feel like
You're
that.
Sarah Connor of comedy.
Yeah, Mother of the Resistance. Dude, she's a hard ass.
We're gonna have John Connor and Sarah Connor comedy tonight. At Guy's house.
Oh my God. It's just, yeah, I'm just like cleaning my gun on stage. The host is crazy. I'm just doing fucking pull-ups in the green room. Oh my God.
I think
Josh
it's a good time
Snyder
to.
running
We're
to
gonna
give
take our
feedback.
little break that we do, come back with our half an hour games,
Yes.
and then call it a call it a show. But we'll be right back, guys. Thanks. Hey, guys, we're back.
We're back.
We're back.
Sense of Humor TV. We're
Salute.
back.
Yeah.
We're talking about
Cheers.
talking about the Big Lebowski here.
The dude abides, dude.
But I just love, like, I was telling them my favorite line in the movie is when John Tortorella is in it, and he's like, and they're like, and he, and he goes, Jesus Christ, and he goes, you said it, man.
Yeah, you said it.
It's just so subtle, but it's so good.
I was fucking watching
that writing is hilarious.
I was watching it the other night, and I couldn't finish it, so I stopped, like, right about halfway.
Yeah.
And then I turned my TV back on and was like, oh, let me finish this movie. And, like, just starting it from the halfway point, I was like,
This is fucking
the fuck?
unreal.
I've seen it, but I'm like, God
The
damn.
soundtrack's crazy in it, too.
So good.
And, like, Steve Buscemi in it, like
God damn it, Donnie.
yeah. So good, because
So
like
good.
I apparently when John Goodman first read the script too, he's like, "Why am I so mean to this guy?"
Yeah.
And then he didn't realize it until like when he dies, and he's like so upset. And he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh no!" Like he's actually.
Should we go bowling after this?
Dude, I love.
Oh my god.
We were talking about pool.
We tried to go
but, like,
bowling on his
Yes.
birthday, and
Where?
We went to Chateau Lanes, which
That's
was
the
like
best.
the best spot. We pull up on my birthday. It was last week. I rally everyone. I'm like, everyone, we're meeting here. It was the most people I've ever gotten out
That's what I did
to
for
go to
my
my
birthday.
birthday. And then, fucking almost.
Oh.
We pull up. I park. Fucking the gates like closed, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, you guys are open, and the security guard's there. I'm like, hey, what's going on here? And he's like, plumbing explosion, man. And I'm like, what? He's like, bathrooms are fucked. We'll be back tomorrow though. And I'm like,
But my birthday's
my
today.
birthday today, no.
Yeah.
And I had to call. I'm like, Augie, Alec. I'm like, hold up. And they're already on their way. Everyone's on their way, and I'm like, fuck, we gotta find out what we're gonna do.
What'd you do?
We went to this piece of shit fucking pool house. People were like, "Oh, we should go here and play pool." And we
Is it that second story one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah.
but they didn't have
Yes!
alcohol there then.
Oh my
They didn't have alcohol
god!
there, so we had to
No,
go
it's
another place.
BYOB. But that place says
No, they said they had-
up in the corner.
One guy
and
was
then-
like, "You can get a liquor store out there. You can grab
And
it."
this other guy goes, "No, we can't do that anymore."
One other guy goes,
Yeah.
"No, dude, we don't do that here." And he's like,
Not
"Oh, I
really.
guess we don't do that here." And I'm like, "What the fuck's going on? Let's just go to a bar."
Yeah, we
I'm
went to a
like,
You know what
the
we did?
fuck?
We literally, this was so fucked up. Because I know which one you're talking about. It's in that shopping complex.
Yeah.
We all went in, and then this is so illegal. We hid a backpack because the bathroom, you go through the back door and there's that tunnel.
Yeah.
We just hid a backpack of booze, like right behind the door.
Genius.
So we'd be like, oh, we're going to go to the bathroom and just like fucking
That's
and
fucking
get back in there.
genius. What the fuck?
I know.
Wow.
This podcast is sponsored by Brickyard.
Yeah,
It was
sponsors
also like
Brickyard.
fluorescent, like
The
lighting
brightest?
from like an elementary school.
Well, I
in
got
there,
there
and we're
first.
like,
Remember, I
this is too
called him
bright.
and I was like, "Dude, I don't think this place is open." Because I was like, "I don't even know where we're supposed to
The
go."
brightest lighting of a pool hall.
Yeah, it felt like a
Illegal.
doctor's office. It was so
Illegal.
I
fucking
felt like
bright.
the only person not divorced in there too.
yeah. You're like, now I see why everyone's wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, it was midlife crisis energy all around the room. They're just chalking their cues, looking at me. Like, the fuck, this kid's wearing all purple.
You're like, don't
The
be
fuck?
fucking happy.
That's
in
my
here.
fa- that's
You
my
will
fa-
get stabbed. It is Koreatown.
I love that kind of shit though. Like even like
Oh,
the
yeah.
part 3 we went to today, it's in the movie Swingers, the one that we went to today.
Yeah.
And it's like when you see in the movie Swingers, it's like all brand new. Now it's like broken down
I
and
love
piece
that.
of shit and like
Fucking holes.
whatever. But it's like I love like the pool hall I go to in Pittsburgh. It's called Arsenal Lanes, and it's like literally old school. It's pool leagues until 9 p.m. So you can't play before 9, and then 9 till midnight is when we go, and it's $15, shoes, all you can bowl, bar in the back. Pictures, just fucking TVs, you know what I mean? Like sometimes they have some live music, but it's just old school as fuck. You and you go up these stairs, like it just feels. They advertise
better?
on the sign that
Nothing's
they.
better.
Yeah,
Nothing's better. There's a place in Sacramento. I go every single time I visit. I've had all of my middle school, like high school birthdays there. It's called Fireside Lanes.
Oh,
And you can do a bowling all
name.
night. You can bowl all night. And it's like the shittiest arcade in the stickiest karaoke bar.
Yes.
And then they've got darts, but it's like you can't use them because the darts are all bent.
Yeah.
Oh, you get a pitcher of beer, and it's like
Yep.
never the beer
Absolutely.
you ordered.
every Tuesday up at
God,
my college, it
yes.
was Arrowhead Lanes, and it
Yeah.
was $2 shoes, $1 games.
Whoa.
And you just fucking also our college was 25-cent wells every Tuesday and Thursday. 25 cents.
God.
I wonder you're all alcoholic.
do-
Yeah,
At my
You can
place-
get.
God.
As soon as I walk in, I get 2 double rum and coke
Oh.
for a fucking buck.
Yeah,
We
it was
would-
dollar Long Island nights at our place.
I think,
25 cents?
I think ours was like a $5 pitcher.
Oh.
So we would all just get our own pitcher.
Oh,
I miss the
just
prices so
drinking
bad.
Right out of the
fucking
pitcher. We don't
yeah.
need a fucking
What are you
cup.
gonna get? Fucking-
That's the one nice thing about being comic is like you obviously get like always deals on booze, you know. And it's
Yeah.
like that was the funny thing with Jordan.
You can pay me in
Jordan,
booze. That's
you know,
fine.
I brought Jordan down to Madhouse in San Diego, and they
Did you love it?
He loved it.
Of course.
But he loved it too much. He let him drink for free. Like, they were letting me drink for
I
free.
love
So he drank for
Madhouse.
free. Because I was like, oh, like, you know, I drive down with Joe, and, like, sometimes Joe will, like, take a nap on the ride home, you know?
Yeah.
But he's a fucking 50-year-old man. Jordan is fucking... I would drive down, you know him. He's a fucking chihuahua. Won't shut the fuck up. And then on the way... He's taking advantage of the free drinks down there. On the way home, he's snoring the whole ride, sleeping. And so we pull up. I'm like, dude, we're here. And he's like, we're not here. Like, we're here. We're back already? I could not believe that we were back
Jordan,
already.
it's called time travel.
Yeah,
When
and I'm
you
like-
sleep in the car.
yeah.
Oh my God.
God forbid. All right, we're gonna
That's
get into this game. So
funny.
basically, you just pick up a subject. It's probably like current events. We don't have many this week, but
Rip
pull one
City.
out.
Is that an Oakland A's hat?
Yes,
Hell yeah!
yes, it is. And so yeah, shout out to Bay.
Wish that thing
And
had a body cam.
so you pull one out,
I think it's illegal for you to have that.
and then you like riff on it you
Okay.
first, and then we'll like riff with you.
Okay.
So I'll let you go first.
Oh shit, riffing.
Rip City.
If only I knew about riffing. I'm just okay. Let's see.
See what happens.
I can't read. You guys, is this a
It's a Post-it note.
They did it
Sticky.
on a Post-it, and it stuck to itself. Myanmar, Thailand earthquake.
Was there an earthquake?
There was an earthquake in Thailand,
You didn't see that?
So that shows how much we are up.
you didn't see that?
and I'm assuming it's thus followed by a tsunami.
Oh, not this time.
Not this time.
Not this time. But
no.
on the topic of tsunami, I saw a video. These people hanging in an infinity pool at the top of a skyscraper.
Oh.
And the whole thing started shit. Water's going. It's like throwing that. They're trying to swim back
I don't-
to the edge and not just get thrown. I've never been more terrified through a phone screen.
I don't
want to
say it's their fault for being there. It's very victim blaming of like,
Yeah.
what were you wearing?
Yeah.
But like, fuck you for being.
This is what your dad taught you.
yeah. Yeah. I
Now
mean,
what did they do wrong?
yeah, literally.
They were really rich and having a good time.
Yeah. I don't want to say it's your fault for being there, but like, I don't feel sorry for
That's
you
funny.
if you get spilled over.
No, I didn't see shit about that.
Dude, there's
The
people.
earthquake?
They were like videotaping driving down the highway. All of a sudden, skyscrapers just start coming down. Like it was fucking insane.
Fuck that.
Yeah. People just looking over on the highway as buildings are just coming down.
Dude,
like,
that
what?
sucks because all of the sad dads on their solo vacation must have just had like the weirdest time.
Right.
that like I'm going to Thailand for Christmas. Don't worry
Yeah.
about
Oh,
me.
well, yeah, that was
I have
a
a
tsunami
business
happened
trip.
on
Yeah,
Christmas in
literally,
Thailand.
yeah.
Don't go to Thailand for any special
Yeah.
occasion. That's moral of the story.
Well,
Listen, I'm sorry
Well,
that your
I-
wife got
That's
remarried.
the thing.
Okay.
That's the thing. People usually only go there for special occasions.
Yeah, literally. It's the craziest bachelor party.
Go ahead, no, and then I think there's only 3 in there or 4 in there. So you go, and then
Okay.
we'll,
Yeah.
we'll let Amanda finish us off.
Get in there. Not the first time I've heard that.
That came out weird, guys. That came out
Pause. Pause.
weird. No Diddy.
No titty.
Tesla protests / vandalism. Oh my
Oh,
god. Did
yes.
you see? There's this like fat black dude going around on like a little tiny 4-wheeler in parking lots, just full speed ramming it into Teslas.
No.
And like it's getting caught on just Tesla cameras, and he's so fat, dude. He can hardly reach down and put it in reverse.
I haven't seen this. I gotta
Just
see this.
throws it back, dude.
And he rams full speed
There's
into
like
it.
even like the gas tank for the thing is like hanging off the side, dude.
Yes.
It's just fucking.
It's like a DIY jackass. He just throws his body into it.
It's just fucking
It is
this
super funny that they were like,
vigilante fat
we're gonna
man.
have Trump buy one at the White House.
Yeah.
Like, that shit was hilarious. I was like,
I've been seeing these people that are like spray painting their Teslas to be like, we disagree with Elon Musk, and it's like, just get a new car.
Yeah.
free.
Just get a new car.
well, I was cracking up.
fucking
Someone else
weirdo.
posted they were like, history repeats itself, and it was like, it was Elon and Trump, and then they had Henry Ford giving Hitler a
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
that's like Henry Ford was a huge
Dude,
Nazi.
The reason we have
Really?
the Volkswagen Beetle.
Hitler
hated Jews.
had
Everyone knows this about Henry Ford. I'm
Hitler had a statue of Henry Ford in his office, and he said Heinrich Ford is my biggest
It's
inspiration.
fucking gay.
Yeah.
That is so
Yeah.
gay.
So how about you guys go and destroy some forts? All
Yeah.
right?
What about Coco Chanel?
Yeah.
Hugo Boss.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! Literally.
Should we start on the
Ferdinand
BMW?
Porsche. He fucking
Porsche.
Mercedes?
No cars are safe.
Yeah.
BMW.
I have a Jeep, all right?
Mercedes.
That's goddamn America.
We only
Yeah,
have the
Jeep,
Volkswagen
just
Beetle.
empty every pocket.
Yeah. There's not the best car, but I drive.
The Volkswagen
Volkswagen.
Beetle is Hitler's car. He
Yeah.
told Ferdinand Porsche was making tanks for him, and then he was like, I want you to design a car of the people.
My
And
people.
they came up with the Beetle, and that's why we have the Beetle. It's because of Hitler.
It is like statistically the unsafest car to drive, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
My friend was gonna get one, and her dad was like, "You will die."
Yeah.
Like,
I think everyone loves the new Ford Broncos, and it's like you're driving a tin can, dude.
Oh,
That thing is like I saw a test drive or a crash test thing, and it just
dude.
just went in half.
but
Like,
the
it
new
was
Broncos are so ugly compared to the
just,
originals.
the sport ones are horrible.
They're gross.
The regular ones aren't that bad. The
Gross.
sport ones are
Here's-
like horrible. They look like the
Sport are gross.
Nissan Cube or whatever.
Yes.
They-
Yeah.
Here's the thing. They've gone in the opposite direction. Cybertruck, too pointy. The new Bronco, too soft, too round. Split the difference.
Have you guys ever seen Sin City? That movie, Sin City.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of the best comic book movies ever made. My favorite line that Mickey Rourke, he goes, he's like driving around that badass like Eldorado, and he's like nowadays every car looks like an electric razor. And I'm like, amen. Dude. That's exactly what they fucking look like.
Such a Sin City
I
line.
know.
Holy shit.
What a
Yeah.
niche reference.
See, I love those. I just love those like lines. Like
I heard that line in black and white, too.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's like raining, as you said.
I remember when I found out Elijah Wood was the villain in that.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah, that's Elijah Wood. I'm like,
Dude, I did an
I'm like, that's
opening-
Frodo running around.
I did an
Mr.
opening
Baggins.
DJ
Yeah.
set
Give
for
him his
Elijah
ring back,
Wood.
dude. He'll stop eating people.
Motherfucker. You did what?
I did an opening DJ set for Elijah Wood.
Really?
God.
He came to DJ at a bar in Kansas City, and I got booked to open too. And then, fucking, I didn't want to be that guy that was like, oh, fucking Lord of the Rings. So one thing I like to do is like, if it's a big person, I like to find like one of the shittiest things they've ever done, and like be like, fucking yeah. And I was like, Elijah Wood, I was like, you're the guy. You're the guy. Spy Kids 3, the guy.
Yes.
You are the guy. And he was like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I guess
But
was
I
the
love-
guy. I
Yes.
totally forgot about
I
the
love
guy.
you in Sin City where you eat people and you never
Dude.
talk.
Dude, being hype about the most niche role is
Yeah,
the best.
that's my favorite thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like Chris Evans was in like 5 minutes of this movie called like Street Kings.
Okay.
And he gets killed like immediately. And I was like, if I ever meet him, I'm going to be like, I loved you in Street Kings. He's like, I had 4 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
That's so
Fucking
Spy
love him in
Kids
Scott
3.
Pilgrim too.
Scott.
When he like checks his phone, he's like, keeps walking. I was like, that's
Dude.
one of my favorite scenes ever.
Fucking Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, my
You want to
God.
pass me the hat?
No. This is the greenest.
You made me spit
Greens.
out beer too. Fuck.
see?
God damn it.
That's what happens,
We're
buddy.
just spitting.
Watch
it
where
out.
you're drinking.
This is the squirter episode.
Sorry, ladies. It's not
right,
even me. It's just you guys. I'm like,
It's
freaks.
just you with a rough voice, and we're just gushing.
What's you would totally roll reverse. What's up, guys?
You're making me wet, dude. All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of making me wet, JD Vance visited Greenland. I guess I don't know about this.
JD Vance.
Yeah, he gets you wet. I guess I don't know. I love
Why?
the memes that are going around about him with his curly hair and he like has the sad face. Have you seen
Oh,
these?
yes.
Yeah, it's
Fucking
like
makeup and shit.
yeah, it's like I don't even know I don't know who made it. I don't know where it came from, but
What in the Ronald McDonald's?
I
Yeah.
love fucking. It makes me think of that fucking the group chat where they sent the war plans, and the guy was like, a bombing now, and he was like, "We'll pray for victory," like fist emoji. That's me every time I go out for a set in
Yeah.
LA. I'm like, "We'll pray for victory."
Dude, emojis in the war chat is crazy.
Fire, American flag,
Yeah.
fist.
The salute emoji, they're like, good job, LOL.
mission mission
drunk,
complete.
too.
Clapping
Yeah.
hands.
Dude, to be in a war group chat. Also,
I
why?
want to be in one so bad.
We
That-
start one.
We should start one.
That is the funniest thing about like our generation is like we're like the only generation who like grew up like being able to see like war on TV.
Yeah.
Like I remember
Live.
like being at home and they're bombing Baghdad and
Yeah.
seeing it like on like
Live.
CNN of them like dropping
Dude.
bombs at Baghdad. And that's being
Yeah.
like, whoa.
When
like,
Russia invaded Ukraine,
Oh.
Reddit was just like Ukrainian kids being like, "Look at this Russian tank outside. I'm gonna blow it up with this fucking internet." And they just go, "Fuck it." Watching that footage firsthand. They're sitting behind a bush as the convoy's coming in. They're like, watch this.
Yeah.
I know you're a big fan of like the Dr. Phil Adam Ray thing, and
yeah.
he had Burr on, and Burr was like, and they were fucking around, and he was like, and Adam was like, as Dr. Phil was like, why do you think Nazis get such a bad rap? Yeah. And he's like, what'd you say? And he's like, I'll say it again. And he like repeats it, and he repeats it, and he goes, and Burr just taking it seriously goes, well, it's because that's the first war they had cameras.
Oh my! I wish we had body cams.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's
Oh
like,
my god! No one's tuning into the radio. They're like, "Wow, Pearl Harbor sounds horrible."
yeah, like if Genghis Khan had cameras, we wouldn't be talking about the Nazis. Trust me. Like that dude killed so many people. He changed the carbon footprint of the planet.
Yeah,
like,
we're literally all related now because of him.
Yeah, it's just so funny where it's like, but I love that he's just so sincere. He was like, well, it's because they had cameras.
This is the first one where
And then Adam goes, did you see the new Indiana Jones?
Just completely
to the
like,
next card.
Yeah. Let's change that subject before we get demonetized.
Why Greenland?
Well, we have,
Okay.
dude. Well, apparently they want to buy Greenland, which is that old thing I saw them talking about on the thing. You know, that's an old trick, right? Like it's an old like Viking
Iceland,
trick.
Greenland.
Yeah, the Iceland Greenland trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they named Greenland Iceland. Yeah, because they wanted like dumb Vikings called it that because they wanted like English settlers to be like, oh, we're gonna go to Greenland, and it was just a fucking ice.
Yeah. And then Iceland is like beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
But they want to buy it?
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah, who knows?
I fucking hate that. Also, not entirely sure who JD Vance is. Okay, moving on. Stephen A. Smith versus LeBron beef. Ooh.
Another one. It's probably JD Vance versus LeBron for all you know.
Sports, yeah. I'm like, well, I recognize the
JD
word.
Vance is the vice president. LeBron is the all-time leading scorer in the NBA.
I recognize the word beef.
Isn't Stephen A. Smith is the JD Vance of sports media?
Oh, so we hate this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck this guy.
And then Bernie Sanders came up and talked shit.
Yeah. And we were like, put your mittens back on, Bernie.
That is funny. Like he got mad at this sports commentator for talking like about his son that's now in the NBA and yada yada.
But his son is like good, right?
Yeah, he's doing good
he's
now.
pretty good.
Yeah, but
Okay, the shade now.
it's funny, just like nepotism. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's like
What?
yeah.
Never heard of
100%.
it.
Yeah.
But also, Stephen A. starts talking shit on your kid. LeBron showed up at this game, and the guy who was talking shit on his son was there, and LeBron went right up to him and was like, you want to fucking talk some shit? Fucking say it to my fucking face. They went in on this thing, and Stephen A. comes out afterwards and is like, I don't think LeBron should have came up to me like that and like approached me like that. And he was like, I would do it again. He even started ranting more about LeBron too, and he said something. He was like, I don't even know why LeBron wasn't at Kobe's funeral, and then.
Whoa, to go wide with it.
And then he
Oh my
was at the
God.
funeral too. And then so he's like, I didn't mean to say that. I don't know why I said that. Things are just getting heated right now.
Yeah,
And so it's just like, dude, you're going insane. Just shut your mouth.
Against LeBron.
Stop talking shit on everyone.
That's the one funny thing too is like
Against LeBron.
that's one funny thing too is like the two things that you like. Again, I'm a biggest Kobe fan you'll ever find in your life. But the two things you can't say about LeBron is like, one, he's not a good basketball player. You can say you don't like the way he plays, blah blah blah, but the man's obviously great.
It's a bold-faced
he's the most
lie.
points has ever been scored.
Yeah.
And you can't say like the man has had zero controversies, not a single one, and he's been in the spotlight since he was 15. He's had not an arrest, not a fucking speeding ticket,
No second families.
no second families,
No
like
fucking DUIs.
yeah, like the guy's been a perfect.
He's an upstanding citizen
he
and
built-
also an A-list basketball
He
player.
built a school for underage or underprivileged children in Cleveland. It's like
Yeah.
It's like it's one of those things where it's like you like Michael Jordan's out there like
but Shaq
getting
was
his
a
dick
genie,
sucked. Like
so.
Yeah.
I love Michael,
Shaq
but he's
was
not
a genie.
Yeah, I
That's
love
true.
Michael, but he's like no one's ever gonna be like Michael's a great person. Yeah, it's like dude is a degenerate gambler like that's getting his dick sucked every day.
You look at him in the eyes, you'll be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I also love that he got mad for like defending his son.
Yeah.
And was like, you're gonna talk shit about my son? He's like, well, I think you went too far.
Yeah.
It's like, we
Yeah.
like him more now, right? we like, if he would have beat your ass on camera, we'd be like, LeBron
Literally.
was in the
That was the
right.
funniest part. Is he was like, "Oh, if you would have touched me, I would have swung." It's like,
Oh,
my
please.
god, LeBron would have put you in a pretzel, dude.
He's all, if you ever
Yeah.
say that to me again.
Yeah, LeBron would have put you in a pretzel.
LeBron
guy.
went on Pat McAfee show the day after, was like, yeah, Steven's probably at home in his tidy whities, just eating a little scoop of ice cream, fucking just and then Stephen A. heard that,
Same.
and the next day he goes on there and he goes,
Let me get one thing straight.
Oh, you're mad. You're mad.
I don't wear tidy whities, and I think we all know why.
I was like, "Wait, don't try to big dick us now.
Yeah.
What are you doing?"
They got to buy new underwear.
What's
Balls
going-
can fit.
I just watched you getting talked down to like a child. You were looking up at LeBron. And he's like, "Well, you're going. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's the best.
I love that his response was, actually, I don't wear tidy whities.
Yeah.
I don't wear tidy whities.
Yeah. Actually, I'm more of a boxer guy myself. And you're like,
Maybe Bronny James is pretty good.
yeah, maybe I should just get bent. That's so funny. I like that I went from having no idea about the controversy
Yeah.
to
Now
not
you're-
having
you're
a very
full-
firm stance.
Now she's gonna work. She's
Firm
going home to
opinion.
buy a LeBron James jersey.
Yeah, I'm actively boycotting. What's
Yeah.
his name again?
Stephen A. Smith.
Fuck this guy. How
I love
dare
how she
you.
picked that subject. That's the one we're ending on, guys. That's
Yeah.
so.
And this guy does love Kobe. He just showed me a giant Kobe poster, and he's like, "It's too big. I don't have any room to hang it."
First of all, I don't wear tidy whities. Second of all, he was at that funeral. Don't know why I said that.
Don't know why I said that.
Third of all, I'm an innocent man.
And I don't eat ice cream. It's frozen yogurt. Everyone knows this about me. You're like,
Ben and Jerry's. You ain't eating Ben and Jerry's.
just keep digging, dude. Just keep fucking.
Oh my god.
Well, on that note, guys, I think we're gonna wrap.
Yay.
Amanda, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks
the
for
best.
having me.
Can you
You're the
plug your
best.
socials real quick for us?
Yeah, my socials. You can follow me on Fritz Comedy on Instagram. You can follow me on TikTok, but I'm never there. But yeah, follow me on Instagram.
And next, Auguste DeRose-Jones Jokers, she'll be hosting, of course.
Yeah.
We're booked up through August there. We'll have to take a link in the bio.
Yeah.
Noah Bergman. What's your at? Viva LeBerg?
Yeah.
At Viva LeBerg.
Yeah.
Alec John, producing, directing. As always, Augie Comedy, Auguste DeRose-Jones, and Sandy, the real
Wake up.
The real one.
Wake up.
sleepy baby. All right. Love you guys. Sense of Humor TV out.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.